Hello friends, welcome to Ready to Solve channel. Friends, today we are going to learn types of vectors. Let's find out what are different types of vectors. First type is null vector or zero vector, then unit vector, equal vector, collinear vectors, like and unlike vectors, and coplanar vector. These are some important types of vectors which we are going to discuss one by one in this video. Let's understand what is concept of null vector. As its name suggests, null means zero. So a vector whose magnitude is zero is called null vector. If magnitude is zero, then length of vector is equal to zero. Suppose AB is a vector, then its length is AB. As you say magnitude is zero, that means point B coincide with point A. Okay, then in such case initial and terminal point is same or identical. Okay, that means both points coincides. A and B coincides. Okay, in such case length of vector becomes 0, and if length becomes 0, then we cannot put arrow, because to put arrow there should be some finite length, and in that case direction of null vector cannot be defined. So we can say direction of null vector is not defined. In other words, we can say direction of null vector is indeterminate. That means cannot be determined. Let's find out what is significance of null vector. To understand this concept, suppose this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Suppose a particle moves from origin 3 unit in the positive x direction, okay, and return back to the origin. So if we ask what is displacement, then you say displacement is 0. Okay, but as we know, displacement is a vector quantity. So if we say only 0, then this is not a correct way. Okay, so we have to write down d vector equal to null vector. We have to put a vector on the top of 0, because displacement is a vector quantity, and so right hand side must be a vector quantity. To understand this concept, suppose this point is A and displacement along OA is 3i cap. If we take a vector, then OA vector is nothing but 3i cap, and from A to O, AO vector which is minus 3i cap. So net displacement is given by OA vector plus AO vector. OA vector is 3i cap and AO vector is minus 3i cap. So if we take I common, 3 minus 3i cap, and this becomes 0i cap. 0i cap means displacement of 0 magnitude in the direction of which shows displacement is 0 along x-axis. Okay, suppose there is displacement vector A 3i cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap, and another displacement vector is I cap minus 2j cap plus, let's say, 4k cap. If we add A plus B to get resultant displacement, then we get 4i cap plus 0j cap plus 7k cap. This 0j cap shows that there is no displacement along the y-axis. So to show such type of concept, we required null vector. We required a concept of null vector so that we can understand such scenario. Okay. Next concept is unit vector. As its name suggests, unit means one. That means a vector whose modulus is unity. A vector which has unit magnitude is called unit vector. Suppose a vector A having magnitude 1, then this A vector is called unit vector. Okay, and unit vector is denoted by a cap. To show unit vector, we put a cap symbol on the top. Suppose A is a vector and we want to find out a unit vector in the direction of vector A. For this purpose, suppose we multiply vector A with a scalar lambda such that lambda A mod becomes 1, because if this is a unit vector, then its magnitude must be equal to 1. Okay. Now lambda mod of vector A must be equal to 1. So mod of lambda is nothing but 1 upon modulus of A. As we say, lambda A is a unit vector. So put value of lambda here. A cap mod of lambda is 1 upon mod of A. So 1 upon mod of A. And this becomes vector A upon mod of A. And since lambda A is a unit vector, so this is also a unit vector. In which direction? In the direction of vector A. So we can say A cap. And in this way, we get a formula for unit vector. And formula is nothing but vector A upon mod of vector A. This is known as unit vector in the direction of vector A. Okay, let's understand what is role of unit vector. Why we should study unit vector. To understand this concept, let's take an example. Suppose we have I cap, 2 I cap and 3 I cap, and we multiply 5 with I cap, then we get 5 I cap vector. If we multiply 5 with 2 I cap, then when we get 10 I cap. If we multiply 5 with 3 I cap, then we get 15 I cap. 5 I cap is a vector along x-axis having magnitude 5. 10 I is a vector along x-axis having magnitude 10. 15 I is a vector along x-axis having magnitude 15. So we conclude that if we multiply with unit vector, then magnitude of resulting vector remains unchanged, because we multiply with 5, and after multiplying, resultant vector also have magnitude equal to 5. But if we multiply with 2i, then resulting vector have magnitude 10, which is not equal to 5. Here, if we multiply with 3i, then resulting vector have magnitude equal to 15, which is not equal to 5. So if we multiply any other vector of x direction, then we can't get a vector of magnitude 5. But if we multiply with unit vector along the x-axis, then we get a vector of magnitude 5. So if we want to get a vector in direction of any vector of desired magnitude, then we have to multiply that particular magnitude with unit vector in that particular direction. Suppose we have to find out a vector of 5 unit in direction of vector A cap, vector A. So we have to multiply 5 with A cap. Since A cap is a unit vector along the vector A, and we get a vector 5a cap. If we take modulus of 5a cap, then we get 5 into modulus of a cap, which is equal to 1, and we get 5. And we see that magnitude of 5a cap is remains unchanged. Magnitude of 5a cap is also 5. So after multiplying unit vector, magnitude does not change. So objective of unit vector is to give direction. So we can conclude that why we use unit vector, then answer is to get direction along any vector. To get direction along any vector, we use unit vector. Unit vector gives direction of that particular vector, and after multiplying this unit vector with any magnitude, we get a vector of that particular magnitude in that particular direction. Okay, then this is the significance of unit vector. I hope you will understand the concept. Next concept is equal vector. Two vectors are called equal if magnitude and direction both are equal. Okay, two vectors are called equal if their magnitude and direction both are equal. And suppose if two vectors are in the component form, suppose vector A is a1 I cap, a2 j cap, a3 k cap, and vector B is b1 I cap, b2 j cap, and b3 k cap, and we say that vector A equal to vector B, then vector A is a1 I cap, a2 j cap, a3 k cap, and vector B is nothing but b1 I cap, b2 j cap, and b3 k cap. And we say that these two vectors are equal. That means their respective component must be equal. That means a1 must be equal to b1. Okay. Similarly, a2 must be equal to b2 because component along the y-axis must be same. So a2 equal to b2 and a3 must be equal to b3. Component along z-axis must be equal. So we can say if two vectors are equal, then their respective component must be equal. So if we have vector A equal to xi plus 4j and vector B equal to, let's say, 5i minus 3yj, and given that vector A equal to vector B, and we are asked to find out x and y, then we simply equate these two vectors and we say that component of x direction must be equal. That means x equal to 5 and component of y direction must be equal. So 4 must be equal to minus 3y and we will get y equal to minus 4 by 3. Okay. So this is concept of equal vector. Collinear vector. Let's understand the concept of collinear vector. What is collinear vector? Suppose there is a straight line and we have some vectors of different magnitude, but all these vectors are parallel to this line. Suppose this line is AB. Suppose this is vector A, this is vector B, this is vector C, this is vector D, and this is vector E. So vector A, B, C, D and E all are parallel to line AB. When we say vectors are parallel to a line, then forget about direction of vector, because we compare with a line, and when we compare with a line, we only take line of vector, line segment of vector, forget about its direction. Here we only take this line, forget about this direction. So we clearly see that this line is parallel to this line. So all these vectors, irrespective of their length, irrespective of their magnitude, all these vectors which have different length are parallel to line segment AB, and in this case, all these vectors are called collinear vector. So vectors which are parallel to a given line segment are called collinear vector, irrespective of their direction. Their direction may be opposite to each other, but all these are collinear vector because all these vectors are parallel to a given line. And when we compare with a line, then we take only line segment of vectors, remove its direction about line segment, and check whether these lines are parallel to this line or not. If these lines are parallel to this line, then all these are collinear vectors. Okay. So we can see here that suppose these two vectors are parallel to this line. Suppose this line is AB, and this vector is A vector, and this vector is B vector. So we can say vector A is lambda times vector B, where lambda is a scalar. Suppose B is 2 times of vector A, or A is half times of vector B. Okay, then we can say A vector is lambda times of B vector. Suppose this is vector A and this is vector B. Both are in opposite direction, but these two are parallel to a line segment PQ. So we can say vector A equal to lambda times vector B. Here lambda must be negative because direction is opposite. Here lambda must be positive because these both vectors are in the same direction. So we can conclude that if vectors are collinear vector, then one vector is lambda times of another vector. Suppose B is twice of magnitude of A, then you can write vector B equal to 2 into vector A. And suppose here A is half of vector B, then we can write vector A equal to minus half of vector B because direction is reverse. So here lambda is minus half and here lambda is plus 2. So lambda can be any positive or negative real number. So this is concept of collinear vectors. If two or more vectors are collinear to each other, then relation between them is given by A equal to lambda B. Let's understand concept of like and unlike vectors. To understand concept of like and unlike vector, we have to draw some vectors. As we can see here, some vectors, vector A, vector B, vector C, vector D, and vector E. Those vectors which are having same direction are called like vectors. Like vectors means having same direction. Magnitude may be differ. Magnitude may be differ. Okay. So vector of two different magnitude having same direction are called like vector. And those vectors which are of opposite direction, which have different direction, are called unlike vectors. So unlike vector means opposite direction, which are not in the same direction, are called unlike vectors. Okay. Length of like and unlike vectors may differ. Only direction must be identical. Magnitude may or may not be identical. Okay. Magnitude may differ, but direction must be identical. Now, let's understand concept of coplanar vector. To understand concept of coplanar vector, let's draw a plane. Suppose this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. So this is xy plane. Okay, this is yz plane. Now let's draw some vectors like this. Suppose this is vector A, this is vector B.